Welcome to the clinical cookout. Cookout.
Hey y'all, it's Auntie Ashley, the Clinical Cookout, and I'm here to wrap up our theme this week, which was the Schizophrenia Spectrum. So we gave y'all a bunch of education all about schizophrenia and the other associated psychotic disorders. And look, it was a lot. Schizophrenia is very misunderstood, so it was a lot. If you missed this week's content, please go back and watch, especially Wednesday's episode and Thursday's content, because it is full of education on this, again, very misunderstood diagnosis. So today, what I wanted to offer to y'all are ways to support someone with schizophrenia, because it is very hard to understand what they are going through. Like, we often try to gain empathy by trying to put ourselves in other people's shoes. You can't put yourself in them shoes. You'll never understand that if you don't experience it yourself. And hopefully you never have to experience it, but there are a lot of people out there who are living with it. So I want to give y'all some tips on how to support that person and how to deal with it yourself if you are someone that is in their support system. First and foremost, to help someone with schizophrenia, it is crucial that you first accept the diagnosis and its difficulties. It's important that you not buy into the myth that someone diagnosed with schizophrenia cannot get better and live a full and meaningful life. You have to pay attention to your own needs as well and maintain your sense of humor and remain hopeful. Now, to go a little further, of course, educate yourself. Get as much knowledge and education about schizophrenia and its other psychotic disorders as you possibly can. Reduce stress. Stress can actually cause schizophrenia symptoms to flare up, so you want to reduce stress as much as possible, not only for yourself, but also for your loved one. Set realistic expectations. It is a difficult thing to deal with, both for the person supporting and for the person who has the diagnosis. So be realistic. You also want to encourage treatment and self-help, build a support network, help that person monitor their medication, and you also want to be aware of and watch out for the signs of relapse, which can include insomnia, social withdrawal, deterioration of personal hygiene, increasing paranoia, hostility, confusing or nonsensical speech, strange disappearances, and hallucinations. If you notice any of those signs of relapse, or you notice that your loved one's symptoms are getting worse in general, call their doctor immediately. And lastly, I just want to give y'all 10 tips on how to deal with someone who is in a schizophrenic crisis. So this is someone that's in a active stage of schizophrenia. One, remember that you cannot reason with somebody in acute psychosis. There is no saying things to make them understand or trying to be logical. You cannot reason with them in that state. Two, that person might be terrified of their own feelings of loss of control. They are scared. I keep reiterating that because I want us to really understand that, for as scary as it is to those of us who see it on the outside, imagine how scary it is for the person actually dealing with it. Three, do not express anger or irritation. That is only going to make things worse. Four, speak quietly and calmly. All right, you can't be yelling at somebody that's in active psychosis. Do not threaten and do not use sarcasm as a weapon. These are very, very bad ideas. Decrease all distractions: TV, radio, lights, sounds. Try to decrease any external distractions as much as possible. If there are visitors or other people around, try to get them to leave, because the fewer the people around, the better in a crisis. Avoid direct and continuous eye contact. Avoid touching the person, and ask them to sit down, and you sit down as well. So those are just a few tips for helping a loved one with schizophrenia, whether it be a friend, a parent, a partner, a sibling, whoever, a coworker. Those are just a few tips for y'all in case you ever encounter someone who has that diagnosis. Above all, don't judge, and try to understand just how scary it is for them and that they are still a human being. Oftentimes, I think in this society, we look at crazy people, as if they are no longer human or they are somehow subhuman, and that is very unfair and very cruel. This is still a person. This is a person who is loved. This is a person who is dealing with things just like any other person in life, and the things they're dealing with are just a little bit tougher. So try to grow in empathy, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this week's content, and please make sure to join us next week. And just two reminders: the Clinical Cookout will be live and in person in July. July 13th in Cleveland, Ohio is our first in-person clinical cookout. It is a conference with workshops and a real cookout. So y'all do not want to miss it. The registration is up right now on our website, and so is our card deck. We have a new Clinical Cookout conversation card deck, and that is all about helping you to learn the people in your life a little bit better. It allows for you to have deeper conversation, and we are in pre-order mode right now, so you can pre-order your deck. The link is on our website as well, and those pre-orders will start to go out around May 15th. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day. I hope y'all learned a lot this week, and we hope to see you next week.
Cookout, black women, all the keys to the power. Cookout, hey.